Right, this is my resub for Anatomy Assignment 3. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things today, starting with the veins and capillaries and arteries and everything. So this picture here shows the blood flow coming away from the heart. It starts with the arteries down here, which is the main blood flow coming away from the heart, and this will then break down into smaller size tubes making the arterioles, and this will break down even further into capillaries, which are the smallest tube that you can get pump blood through. It turned blue here because in the capillaries the blood becomes deoxygenated, and the capillaries then link back together making the venules, and then finally the venules will increase in size and create the veins, which will bring the blood back up to the heart. This diagram here is just showing you the structure of the veins and the arteries and arterioles. There are large veins and large arteries, but we just say them as they are, veins and arteries. But they're made up of the tunica externa, which is the outer layer of the vein or the artery, the tunica media, which is the inner, like the middle, and what says here, the tunica, I can't even read that, but the externa lumen then, which is the, oh wait, no, tunica interior, yeah, okay, that's fine, yeah, tunica interior, which is the inner of the vein or artery. The next thing we're going to talk about on the next slide, there we go, is lung functions. So there's going to be 4 things we're going to talk about in lung functions. First one is inspiration or inhalation of air into the lungs. This is just the inhalation of oxygen and everything that goes into the lungs to be able to create energy and CO2 as a waste product. To get rid of the CO2 as a waste product, you need expiration or exhalation, which is the CO2 being compressed by the lungs and the diaphragm and being pushed out of the body as CO2 or air. Another thing to talk about is the vital capacity, which is the maximum volume that can be inhaled and exhaled during one breath. And finally, the residual volume, which is a volume of air still remaining in the lungs after the most force, after a person has used all their force to exhale as much as possible. So it's the last amount of air still remaining in the lungs. And finally, on this, oh yeah, it did change. Well, we can just get rid of that. Final thing to talk about, neural, which is brain function, and chemical control of the body. Neural control is a process used by the nervous system. This controls everything from movements to like physical activities, and there's also chemical control, which are the chemoreceptors in the brain and in the heart that sense the amount of oxygen, CO2, lactic acid, or chemicals in the body that are there. The chemical control just controls the amount of chemicals that are in the body, as the name would suggest, to keep it a constant respiratory rate. So it differs in bringing in oxygen to taking out CO2 to make sure that there's no no disruptions in the balance of any of the chemicals in the body. So yeah, that's all of that.